Hello everyone, a very good morning, good afternoon and good evening to all of you. This is your host Vaibhav. In our today's session of Daily Stock, we are going to consider the aspects of a food company, a very well-known food company, a big global brand, the Tyson. We will see how its recently released quarterly earnings are going to impact the outlook for the company's share prices in the near term as well as from the medium term perspective. We will see if there are any opportunities which might come our way if we consider the fundamental as well as technical factors while making the evaluation of these companies' future prospects. The earnings for the company were lower than expected. Its total revenues are down in terms of the year on year for the quarter ended June, and also the outlook is not looking that strong. The share price dived after the release of these quarterly earnings, and afterwards, in yesterday's session in particular, we saw recovery from the lower levels. But in today's session, as we are observing, the prices have stabilized just below the prior high, the high established prior to the quarterly earning release, and the share price is trading in today's session almost flat. There is not much of a momentum on either side. I think it is now going into a consolidation phase after the recovery we saw in the yesterday's session from the lower levels. It started the day quite low, but in the subsequent hours of the trading session, it stayed bounced back. It came back from these lows, and as the things stand, we still have the formation of lower low in place, and it will be interesting to see if we are going to get a lower high and subsequent opportunity to short it. As the near term outlook is looking bearish, we have to keep looking for opportunities to short, but for that we have to keep some key levels in mind, and before we make our mind we also have to take a look on its fundamentals, how things have panned out in the last week and what the forward guidance is the company's earning report, the quarterly results for the third quarter of 2023. And here, as you can see, the total revenues are lower for the company in 2023 in comparison to the quarterly revenues for the same quarter of last year. But if we look at the company's performance from the point of view of total 9 months, all 3 quarters included, then the revenues are not much different from what they were for the 9 months ended June 2022. But in terms of the quarterly performance, it is indeed quite low. And as the company is looking at the capacity optimization, it has also decided to shut four of its food processing plants, and it is hoping that this will streamline its operation and reduce some cost, even though it is of course going to need to make some upfront payments for the contract related issues, the legal issues which are going to arise after this closure of the plants. But those are going to be one-time expenses. But the company is expecting that it will improve its efficiency and improve the operating profitability. Now, if we go into the fine print of these results, we have the operating loss of 350 million for the last quarter, whereas there was a gain of 1 billion in the same quarter of 2022. These are the highlights for the third quarter. The sales are down 3% year on year. There is operating loss, which is pulling its profitability 134% down in comparison to the same quarter last year. The EPS is also lower at 0.15 dollar per share. So these are the highlight. Now we also have to look at this decision of the company to close four of the chicken facilities. So these are the centers which the company has decided to close. Now if you go into the segmental results, the mainstay of the company's revenue comes from the beef. Then the chicken is the second largest contributing segment, whereas prepared foods and pork come subsequently. Overall, there is not much substantial change, but if we consider its revenues are significantly lower for pork and also for the prepared food, it is lower. In other segments, the beef is holding around the same level, but chicken is lower. Pork, chicken, and prepared food, these are the three segments which are bringing in less revenue for the company. If we look at its forward guidance, the company is saying that as it has embarked on a journey to make its operations more efficient and improve operating margin, it is expecting the productivity savings to show up by the end of fiscal 2024, and as its initiatives are likely to take time to materialize and show actual results. It is, in a way, asking the shareholders to be patient with its decisions taken so far. Now, let's go into the technical aspects of the company's share price. This is the Tyson Food share price, where we have this consolidation for most part of today's trading session. It has hovered in this price band of 54 to 55 dollar per share. If we look at the larger picture of the company's share price for this year in particular, it is taking some time. Alright, here we have it. After the company's quarterly earnings came in last quarter for the quarter ended March, the company's share price had dived quite lower, losing almost one quarter of its market capitalization. From there on, it has staged a recovery of sort, but after these quarters earning as well, it almost evaporated, and we saw the company's share price dipping close to this baseline of around $50 per share. And now it is interesting to see what is going to happen from here onward, because I feel if the company consolidates for a day or two around these levels and doesn't really climb past the immediate high established at $57.137, then we are going to have a strong possibility of the resumption of downward momentum, bearish momentum in the Tyson's share price, and we can expect in due course of time to see a fresh swing low being established even below these low of $47. So that possibility is there, but for that, we will need to observe how the share price unfolds for next couple of days, and if it remains under pressure, if it remains bearish, then indeed we will be in a better position to take the chances and go for a short sell trade in the Tyson Food shares. Let's consider its year-to-date performance. The company started the share price. It started the year with the share price of more than 60, and it consolidated around that range, but it continued with its downward spiral, making lower lows and lower highs, and it is still to break out of this chain. And even now, as the company's fundamentals stand, I think the company's share price is likely to remain under pressure, and we can indeed keep looking for the opportunities to go short. So that possibility is quite strong. But of course, we have to always look for the opportunities in a favorable risk reward ratio, and for that we have to look at the key levels which we need to watch out for. For this share, the immediate high established at US dollar 57.13 is a key level to watch out for. And one more thing is that in yesterday's session, it rebounded quite strongly. So for further trade, we need some sort of dip from the current levels, and then in the subsequent bounce back from the lower levels toward this immediate swing high of US$55 per share. We can then go for the initiation of the short sell trade. But right now, the things are not really looking that promising. So I would say that we need to go for a wait and watch approach. And if the share price of the Tyson holds below this immediate swing high, then of course we will have the reason to expect the bearish rally to begin again. But for that, I think we need to give it more time, allow the share price to stabilize for a couple of weeks, couple of sessions, couple of days, and then go for a fresh trade whenever you get these share trading close to the US$55. So that is my take looking at the fundamental as well as the technical aspects of company share price. So if you have any query or any idea to share, do write to me in the feedback, and I will be more than happy to take the discussion forward. In tomorrow's session, we will be considering equally interesting company, its quarterly earnings, how its forward guidance is affecting its current price dynamic, and also the technical factors which we can utilize to optimize our trade entry and exit points. So do come back. We will have a interesting session. Thank you all for joining in. See you next time around. Till then, goodbye.